Hey guys, it's your pal Victor here, and we are going to talk a little bit more about Uncharted. We're going to talk about some spoilers. We're going to explain the ending. We're going to talk about the post-credit scene right now. Hey guys, so we're going to talk a bit about Uncharted. We're going to talk about the ending. We're going to talk about spoilers. We're going to talk about some cameos you may need to keep your eye out for. So this is your warning if you haven't seen the movie, or if you're not going to see the movie and just want to know the nitty gritty, we're going to talk about spoilers starting right now. Now, when this movie was first announced, a lot of people were really sort of thrown by the fact that, what, Tom Holland is playing Nathan Drake? I mean, the physicality does not match up with the video game. I mean, you wouldn't hire like a skinny Italian waiter to play Mario, would you? But most people, when they think of Nathan Drake, they think of Nolan North, who does the voice of Nathan Drake in the Uncharted video games. He's also an accomplished actor, but people mostly know him as a voice actor. He's Tony Stark in the Avengers. He's the Penguin in Batman Arkham Origins, you know. He's the man when it comes to voice acting. So in this movie, you know, there's a big parachute set piece that is teased at the beginning of the movie. When you see the conclusion of it, you see Nathan and Chloe wash up on a resort beach, and a man sitting on a beach chair comes up and talks to them. He's like, you guys all right? And then they tell him what's been going on, how, you know, they've been knocked out of a flying plane and all this. And he replies to them saying, oh, I've been through that before. That's because that man is actually Nolan North making a cameo. So yes, Nolan North, the video game Nathan Drake, is in the Uncharted movie. You heard it here first. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the ending of this movie because it does need some explanation. And now we're going to talk a bit about the crux of this movie, a lot of which relies on the fate of Sam Drake. As you guys know, if you've watched this movie, or if you will watch this movie, the big deal in this movie is Sully, played by Mark Wahlberg, is keeping the details of Sam's fate from Nathan. Chloe teases this info, and eventually it comes out that in a firefight between Mark Wahlberg's Sully and Tati Gabrielle's Braddock, Sam got shot and they left him behind. So Braddock essentially is believed to have killed Sam. So now it becomes basically a mission of revenge for Nathan to get this Magellan gold away from Braddock, who is the film's real big bad. This movie teases Antonio Banderas as the big bad, but near the end of the movie, he is betrayed by Braddock, and it's one of those things where they've been setting him up as the big bad, but actually he was just a simp, and she kills him and takes control of the operation to get the gold. So that's the big spoiler in this movie, is that Tati Gabrielle is really the big bad, and Antonio Banderas is kind of like the simp money man. Near the end of the movie, using clues hidden in postcards that Sam had been sending Nathan over the years, similar to how you might have seen in Knives Out, where you put the light under a piece of paper and there's a secret message. Nathan figures out that the two keys that they've been searching for in the movie, if you take out one of the jewels in them, they become a compass that you can use on this ancient map to find the location of the gold. It's kind of a combined ripoff of Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark and the Goonies. So basically, you know, it's like you have to take a part off, put it together, it becomes a compass, sort of like the Staff of Ra, and then you put it on the map, sort of like the, you know, the One-Eyed Willy skull totem, and that tells you the location of the gold. So they go there, and it is literally a cove, just like in the Goonies, where there are two Magellan pirate ships. Before this happens, Nathan and Chloe are trying to figure out what the clue is together. He leaves some fake coordinates for her to test her loyalty, to see if she'll wait for him. She doesn't. So she actually disappears pretty much from the rest of the movie, and they go to this cove where these ships have been there for 400, almost 500 years, and are perfectly preserved, even though they're out in the elements. It's a little silly, and this movie plays with physics the same way the last Fast and the Furious movie did, meaning, you know, stuff plays like a video game when it needs to, but then if you're in a helicopter, you need to use the headphones to talk to each other, stuff like that. But you can have a perfect conversation when you're falling out of an airplane, you know, that kind of silliness. So Braddock's people get 2 helicopters and hitch them to the ships to fly them out of the cove. Sully and Nathan manage to sneak aboard and take over one of the ships in helicopters. There's a big fight, and they're losing most of their gold. However, Nathan is smart enough to stash some gold in a marble bag. No, not really, but in his pocket. And even though they lose most of their gold, there's a moment where Sully has to choose between saving Nathan and his gold. He saves Nathan. The ship falls from the helicopter when it drops anchor, so it's going to destroy the helicopter. And the ship falls on Braddock, essentially killing her. The big ending scene here is, at the end, the teases that Sam is actually still alive. He survived being shot, and he's still been sending letters to Nathan all these years telling him to be wary of Sully. All right, so that is the gist of the ending of Uncharted. It's a little confusing, it's a little funny, but there it is. The post-credit scene largely deals with, after the fact, you have Nathan, who, during the course of that ship battle, managed to get his trademark holsters. He is meeting up with Gage, who's a character from the video game, to get a Nazi map from him, teasing another adventure. Gage tries to get Nathan's ring with the Latin saying that about great things come from small beginnings, but Sully manages to save him, looking like the video game Sully, with his hair slicked back and a mustache and kind of a Hawaiian shirt with his cat. They're about to get away, but then suddenly they turn around and they're shocked by fade to black. So that is the post-credit scene, definitely teasing 2 storylines for a future Uncharted movie, which will probably happen because this movie's tracking very high. So, hey, there's a franchise for you, and it's promising you at least 2 storylines in the sequel. So there you go. That is the ending of Uncharted and the post-spoiler scene explained. If you like videos like this, stay tuned. There's more to come, and we will catch you later on Cult Classics. Later, guys.